Welcome to Wednesday's show, and thank you for being here on another chilly evening in the neighborhood. And as I have said for days, more to come. Good news is we're going to climb out of this hole, and to the tune of better than 50 degrees. Earlier this week, we were hoping to hit 49 by, about this time, maybe Tuesday of next week. But it looks as though we'll hit the 50-degree mark and then some, with some sunshine, and that will feel wonderful by comparison. Now, won't it? But we've got some, of course, cold weather with a lot of sunshine, mind you, between now and then. More on that in a few moments. I do not have an actual update on the condition of any of our students which are still hospitalized from the bus crash earlier this week. I can tell you, however, that Heather, my editor at the Independent, has reached out today and talked to or messaged with parents or families of each of the 7 which remain hospitalized. So she will, in tomorrow morning's paper, have more on that. We do, however, have more on the situation by and large. Tonight we'll speak about how you can help and how it's needed, and how the local schools, along with some help from a lot of folks in the community, are taking donations that might go for gas or overnight stays as their children or families are in the hospital, or for transportation costs for those who have already been released. A lot going on there, and we'll talk with our superintendent on that front in just a few moments. Down to 2 as far as viewing area football teams. 2 easy wins, 2 tough games ahead for them, and a host of other news and information. Real quickly, we'll just check on some of our neighbors before we shift gears and come back to local headlines. It was in neighboring Breathitt County that yesterday afternoon a man was arrested and facing now charges of child sexual exploitation, numerous counts, after the Kentucky State Police says that their electronic crime branch investigated and is now arrested 45-year-old Gary D. Gross. He's from Van Cleve, and they, during their investigation and during his arrest, found in his home in Van Cleve a number of electronics and other devices used to commit the crime. They, of course, are all being examined. He is right now facing at least, so far, 20 counts of possession of matter portraying a minor in a sexual performance, that being under the age of 12. As well, he is, I believe, been or was initially lodged in the Three Forks Regional Jail. He was not there just a few moments ago. I cannot say if he has posted bond or otherwise, but he was initially arrested and taken there. Sad news out of Rowan County this morning. A fatal crash in eastern Kentucky. We knew of it happening this morning, and we now have the identity of the woman who was pronounced dead on the scene. The following statement and information, and this image as well from the Rowan County coroner, says that there was a single fatality related to this single vehicle crash this morning. It happened in the westbound lane of I-64 near mile marker 138. It's there that the coroner's office reported. The collision happened sometime around 7 o'clock this morning. First responders, EMT, law enforcement, all arriving to find that a truck had left the roadway after the driver lost control. No reasons as to what is believed to have caused the crash as of yet, but the vehicle then went over the embankment. There was a woman inside the truck who was pronounced dead at the scene by Rowan County Coroner John Northcutt. The man, the driver, was taken after being cut out of his vehicle, first to the St. Clair Medical Center and then airlifted to the UK Medical Center for the severity of his injuries. The victim has now been identified as 74-year-old Rose Malone from Grayson. Again, 74-year-old Rose Malone of Grayson, pronounced dead on the scene. The driver and male's identity was not listed. In neighboring Floyd County, checking in with, and now turning to our neighbors in Floyd County, specifically one, that being Floyd County Sheriff's Deputy Darren Lawson, who, of course, has faced a long road after being shot in that brutal attack, of course, that claimed the lives of his fellow officers in K-9 unit several weeks ago, back towards the end of June. He has fought to keep his leg. That fight, however, according to his fiancée, came to an end this week. Madison Nunnery, the fiancée of Deputy Lawson, stated the obvious, that this was not a decision that they took lightly, saying that she was there to give a much-needed update on Darren since the shooting, that he just this week had undergone surgery, unfortunately, to amputate his leg from about 6 inches below his knee. Again, a decision that wasn't made lightly, but ultimately that was where they were. He underwent the amputation earlier this week after another stint in the hospital, numerous rehabs, and a lot of physical therapy, and a lot of recovery that will continue. She asked that everyone in the community, as I'm sure they will, please pray for him during these difficult times as they continue to adjust and continue to keep being strong. And just a couple of statewide political tidbits for you this evening. Senator Mitch McConnell was officially reelected as Republican leader this evening. He held off a challenge from Senator Rick Scott. Scott is from Florida. McConnell having not much resistance to keeping the country's highest position in that regard. 37-10 was the vote from his fellow senators, and it's also no surprise that Senator Robert Stivers was reelected as Senate President. He was unchallenged for that position, which he has now held for almost 12 years. I think Congressman Hal Rogers saying that for nearly a decade the Kentucky Senate has been in the very capable care with President Robert Stivers' leadership. All said and done, now that the election is over, at least in Kentucky, the Republican Senate majority has gone to 31, while the Democratic minority consists of 7. With that said, local headlines will begin right after this.
At Golden Law Office, our attorneys previously represented the nation's largest insurance and trucking companies, handling cases involving serious personal injury and death. We know their strategies, how they will defend the case, and what factors drive large settlements. The attorneys at Golden Law Office can use this inside knowledge to ensure your case is handled effectively and aggressively. Hiring Golden Law Office provides you with a strategic advantage. Call Golden Law Office today.
Just as quick as one arrives, it feels like the next is already about to begin. And Conley Tire doesn't want you to start any of the driving seasons unprepared. Be safe and sound and get there with the best offers on the best tires by the best manufacturers. All with service you've grown to trust. Go to conleytire.net or stop by in Staffordsville to find out more. Or give them a call at 297-2424. The reassurance of getting your medications and over-the-counter needs at Sayersville's oldest and most trusted pharmacy. The convenience of curbside pickup and call-ahead service. And the fact that you can walk in, order to go, or sit down and get gourmet quality hot fudge brownies, nachos, shakes, coffees, hot dogs with homemade sauce, desserts, and more makes it more than your hometown Good Neighbor Pharmacy. It's a destination in downtown Sayersville, Frazier's Prater Drugstore. It doesn't get any sweeter than that.
Hello, I'm Dr. Cheryl Stalder-Cheney, podiatrist currently located in Sayersville, Kentucky. I've been servicing patients within Eastern Kentucky for the past 20 years.
Our feet are the foundation for everything we do, and whether you're suffering from fractures or injuries, need custom orthotics, diabetic foot care, sports medicine, heel pain, wound care, or anything else foot-related, relief is just one step away.
Welcome to Hope Family Podiatry Center, where we take care of all of your podiatric needs.
Located on the Parkway next to Hope Pediatrics. Parkway Pharmacy, as always, promises the quickest service with the very best care and prices, and to always have someone there to talk to when you have a question. With 3 pharmacists, curbside, drive-through, and call-ahead service. Parkway Pharmacy in Sayersville, 349-4400.
Where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you need one.
I'm Bill Tinker. I've spent the past 19 years defending insurance companies in car crashes, truck crashes, and slip and falls. Are you involved in a case like that? Is the insurance company giving you the runaround about your medical bills, your benefits, or your lost wages? Contact me at McFarland Tinker Law Office. With our combined experience of over 58 years, we're here ready to work for you.
As the bus driver and all of the students involved continue to heal, some of course from severe and critical injuries, but all suffering injuries to some degree. The Montgomery County School District says they are continuing as they have said since day one, with the assistance of their therapist, Cameron Blanton, with the assistance of their school psychologist, Barry Atkins, to help students and staff, even of course, need be cope with the trauma or anything else associated with the events of the bus crash this Monday morning. They are also at the same time, Superintendent Chris Meadows told me earlier today, encouraging everyone, parents, caregivers, families, to talk to your students, those not involved as well, at home, and make sure that they are not struggling to understand or deal with those circumstances as our school leaders are in school. With that said, as I mentioned at the top of the program, my editor Heather Oney will have an update on the conditions as much as possible in tomorrow's edition of the Sagersville Independent. I think she's been in contact with the families or caregivers of all 7 which are still hospitalized, but they and the other 11 which were injured, and that of course the school bus driver, who all have injuries to overcome. Also now that presents a number of issues for their family. Transportation, fuel costs, and the like, and a lot of local folks have realized that, and the efforts of some we'll talk about tonight and encourage others to maybe help them or something of their own, but thousands of dollars raised for that thus far. Local Judge Dennis Prater, he's had some assistance from our friend Paul Gumby Montgomery, and McGoffin County Schools Superintendent Chris Meadows says that there is a plan and an account in place, if you will, if you would like to help.
We have had a tremendous amount of support, calls. I'm getting calls and messages from superintendents of different districts. I know that Judge Prater is coordinating an effort here locally, but also with other district judges across the state. And I just couldn't even begin to name the number of organizations and people that have reached out to help these families. And I think that that's what you always find during a tragedy. You really see the good in people. And we definitely are seeing that these past couple of days.
Mr. Meadows referencing our district judge, Dennis Prater, who I spoke with earlier today, who says, yes, he did reach out to Mr. Meadows, knowing full well that Mr. Meadows had to have a full plate at this time and wanting to help after several Masonic lodges and different judgeships had reached out to District Judge Prater wanting to help. So he started to collect donations, organize that effort. The school system has since recognized the outpouring of support, as you heard. They set up a special account to collect and deposit monetary donations, but also suggest that as greatly appreciated and much needed as that is, that there are other ways that anyone from this community or others can help our local families affected after the bus crash of Bus 2030.
When Judge Prater called me and offered to spearhead this, we did agree to have the board office here as a local collection point. So if people are interested, they can feel free to bring cash, a check made out to McGoffin County Board of Education, or gift cards. Gift cards are good. Those are easy to pass on to the families, but we have set up a special fund here at the board to manage anything that's donated. And we've put a system in place this morning to document every donation when it's received and to document when it's also distributed. And we just want to emphasize that we want to make sure that all families are being helped through this. Definitely those that are spending a lot of time at the hospital, but we also know that some of our families that have had their students released also have quite a bit of travel to do, lots of doctor's appointments, so we'll be reaching out to them as well to assist them as they have to travel to and from those appointments.
Again, monetary donations, gift cards, gas cards. He also stressed that there was a Shell Mart directly across or very near the University of Kentucky Hospital, which is where at least 4, if not more, of our students are still at this time, and some may be for quite some time. But also, as Meadows said, keep in mind that we still have those 11 students which were released, still 7 as was the case yesterday in the hospital, but even those first 11, we'll be making many of them doctor's appointments to other facilities in other areas besides Lexington, and to help offset some of those costs and burdens, gift cards, gas cards, hotels and lodging will also, of course, be an issue for many as well. Some other efforts, I know that a local sign company, another one, I think it was High Tech out of Floyd County, had contacted the judge's office and donated several McGoffin County Strong stickers, and they went so quickly that they were out by this afternoon in the McGoffin County Clerk's office, who called, and we as well chimed in on the event, and the Clerk's office, Renee Arnott's Shepherd's office, wanted me to let everyone know that they have more for sale and that is going very well. And they asked that anyone who would like to stop and get a McGoffin Strong sticker and make a donation, that they too will see that those funds go directly to our students and those families. Another quick tidbit for you. There was a challenge issued to all local businesses and any others as well, and I believe it was Avavian Deaton over at Creekside Stitching and Feed, who donated $100 to the cause through Dennis Prater's efforts, and challenged all other businesses. I know Harper's Auto Repair had chimed in as of this morning. I know we have here at Your News Today and Mortimer Media as well, and we're hoping that a lot of other businesses will help as well. So $100 challenges to all local businesses, and those can be sent to Judge Dennis Prater or as well as the McGoffin County Board of Education. More headlines to come, and we'll get to that in a few moments. I've got a couple of announcements to make right now. First and foremost, before we go to the calendar, one, open enrollment, Medicaid open enrollment, that is open the 15th of October and goes through December the 7th. So for the seniors and the public, the Big Sandy Ad Board will have SHIP counselors available to assist you with anything you need. And a reminder, one will be here tomorrow at the McGoffin County Senior Citizens Center from 9:30 to 11:30 in the morning. And bring yourself, bring a neighbor, bring a friend, and come to the Senior Citizen Center. They have a counselor, a SHIP counselor there, who will have SHIP applications to take your information. They will also mail you your 2023 plans to review, and will switch plans for you if you need a new plan. Everything you need to know under Medicare open enrollment tomorrow morning, starting at 9:30 for 2 hours at the Senior Citizen Center. Here's calendar announcements tonight, brought to you by McGoffin Farm Bureau. From our friends at the Water into Wine Food Pantry, a reminder, tomorrow is Senior Commodity Day, 9 to 11, their winter hours which have been set. If you're on the main commodity list, please pick up your commodities by 10, because starting at 10, folks on the waiting list can start to pick up the remaining boxes. Senior Commodity Day tomorrow, 9 till 11, at the Water into Wine Food Pantry over at the Lakefront Church of God on Route 30. Just a quick reminder, I'm probably not going to run these too much longer because if they haven't filled up by now, they're going to very, very soon. The Holiday Wreath Workshop at the Extension Service, Tuesday, November the 29th, 10 till 6. Come join the fun. Make your own fresh pine wreath. They'll give you everything you need and feed you along the way. Call 349-3216 to register, and it's just $15. This is fun for anyone. And also coming up, a good way to get some cool gifts for the holidays. Friday and Saturday, December the 2nd and 3rd. You've got a couple of weeks, but I'll remind you when it gets closer. And a soup and dinner on that Friday, also at the Extension office for their holiday bazaar and vendor fair. Still spots available for vendors, everyone, if you want to call and reserve one. Again, 349-3216. And Country ham orders, 4-H country ham orders open if they still have any slots available. This starts Monday the 16th for the first curing of your ham. That's right, cure your own ham, have a lot of fun, and learn a little bit too. Again, fun and cool for all ages. So's our calendar. Yeah, sure, it's fun and cool for all ages. Let's go with that. It's a great place for birthdays and anniversaries too, so tell me when you got any of those, and I'll be sure to tell everyone else about them. Banking from home or on the go has never been easier and will forever be an important and necessary part of life. And Sagersville National has been and will always be at the forefront of meeting and exceeding your financial needs and giving you the safest and most worry-free online and mobile banking so you can worry about the important things, like what's for dinner. They're there when you need them at the main and branch locations of the Sagersville National Bank.
The Appalachian Wireless Holiday Sale is going on now. Appalachian Wireless has a holiday sale that will make everyone's holiday merry and bright. From now till the end of the year, visit us in store or reserve online for an unbelievable sale on all the hottest devices. Deals like the iPhone 14 for just $99.99 or the iPhone 12 for just 1 cent. We know what you want for the holidays because we are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
There's just no denying it. Some things you crave all year long, but some of those things you crave even more when the leaves start to change and fall and there's a chill in the air. And our famous fresh-baked chicken pot pies are at the very top of that list. They're a warm, tasty, delicious snack or a meal in its own perfect little box at your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe. I have a number of indictments returned by the Johnson County Grand Jury this week. One I can report out this evening. A man indicted for theft and PFO charges. The theft count stemming from harvesting timber off of someone else's property without permission. The Johnson County Sheriff's Department presenting the case against Michael Brian Allen of Prestonsburg, now indicted on a theft by unlawful taking charge, less than $10,000, and a count of being a persistent felony offender in the second degree for having at least one prior felony on his record. As for the theft charge, it was back in May of this year that he was reportedly caught in the process of harvesting timber logs off another person's property on Little Mud Lick Road in Johnson County. Authorities say that he actually already had several trees down, had one loaded up on his truck or trailer with the others cut, and ready to help himself to the timber that was not his, thus resulting in this week's indictment. The rest of the indictments on tomorrow's program. A few things to discuss in sports tonight. We'll start off with football before we get to round ball, and that being that we are now down to 2 viewing area football teams who are going on down to the final 8. Quarterfinal action coming up this Friday for both our Golden Eagles of Johnson County and Paintsville Tigers. For the Eagles, an easy win over Wayne County, 43-6, will advance them to quarterfinal action this Friday night, where it will not be so easy. That is a guarantee. The Hornets will now face Corbin, who sits among the very top seed or spot in Class 4A football. Corbin is undefeated this season at 12-0. Johnson Central just 2 losses this year, but nevertheless, they're going to have their work cut out for them. We wish the Golden Eagles well as they travel to Corbin this Friday night. Also, the Tigers, an easy win over Bishop Brossart. Yeah, that's the 4 or 5-time previous champions who were on a 6-0 run, I believe, Bishop Brossart. Yep, Tigers took them down 42-16, but they will not have as easy of a route this Friday either. They'll be at Pikeville, not traveling as far, but they too are taking on the top seed in Class 1A. Pikeville's 9-2 on the season. Paintsville, with that win Friday night, goes to 6-5. And Lawrence County, well, their kryptonite for the year turned out to be Greenup County. They only had 2 losses in the regular season, and one of those was Greenup County in round 2 of the 10-game run. 14-17, they faced each other again in last week's round of postseason and came up short 7-28, and that was a home game for Lawrence County again, as both were. Greenup County now advancing to 8-4. Lawrence County hanging it up a respectable 9-3 after taking down some big opponents this season. And if you're waiting on a little round ball action, well, you won't have to wait much further, at least to get a glimpse. While the regular season is not all that far away, even closer is the annual Maroon and White Night event here at the Montgomery County High School this Friday night. Yes, this Friday night. It's Maroon and White Night. Come meet the players, the boys, the girls teams, as well as, of course, their elementary, middle, and all dance, basketball, cheer, and band members, essentially wrapped up into the one big kickstart to the season. Big fundraiser, big fun, big event, and of course, it's just a popular place to be as we encourage our Hornets to have a wonderful season with the support of the hometown crowd this Friday night. Again, this Friday night, starting at 6 o'clock. Lastly tonight, I wish I had some better news for you as far as your 7-day outlook is concerned. However, if you will look towards the end of it, and we will, we are going to get out of the 30s and 40s. It may be a little bit of a slow road to get there, but we will. I don't know how long we're going to hang out there, but we will get there. 25 degrees tonight, mostly cloudy. We saw a few flurries today, didn't we? The chance continues throughout the rest of the evening for a few more possibly breezy conditions. Winds up to 20 miles per hour out of the west tonight, with again a chance of flurries and lows right around 25. We'll hit a sunny, albeit cold, 38 for you tomorrow on your Thursday, but factor in a wind out of the west up to 15 miles per hour, so another chilly, breezy, albeit sunny day in the neighborhood. We'll see some more sun tomorrow, certainly, than we did today. Not much of a change for your Friday. Still 20 degrees for nighttime lows, the daytime high. We look to add a couple of degrees to it. 40, mostly sunny. Winds, this time a little more southwesterly, but still up to 15 miles per hour on your Friday, so still chilly and windy, albeit sunny tomorrow and Friday. And for Saturday, the winds calm down, temperatures go nowhere. 38 for your high, 19 for your low that night. Mostly sunny skies for the first half of your weekend, but definitely cold. And I'm sorry to say the latter half of your weekend is not any better. It's still sunny and clear and dry, but we'll go from the upper to the low to maybe mid-30s, 34 right now at best for your Sunday. Sunny and clear, but cold. Not much going on outside this weekend. But there's the encouraging words that I have to go out in your forecast tonight. We'll go from 34 Sunday all the way up to 46 Monday, still sunny, dry, and clear. Lows still around 23. But check out Tuesday and Wednesday. That will be a major change. Think how nice that will feel by comparison's sake. Tuesday, low 50s. Wednesday, right at mid-50s. And we'll get close to getting at or above freezing for nighttime lows by this time next week. That's it. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.